I usually wake up at about 6 o'clock in the morning, or that's about the time I get out of bed and go downstairs. And I usually sit down and watch a video, a cleaning video, or something like that in the morning with my coffee just to wake up. And then, if I'm doing really well, I will get the cats up, get their food, get the kitchen set up, get the living room just tidy with a blanket and a pillow. And that's really about it. And then I start my work. Most mornings I am live on my membership side at 9 o'clock in the morning. So, I want to get up, I want to take a shower because it's usually a get ready with me and we chit chat. So I want to get myself in the shower. So today is Wednesday. So we don't meet live till 4 because we're doing the book Decluttering at the Speed of Life by Dana K. White together. So I'm going to go downstairs, I'm going to get everything set up, and then what I really want to do is get my sheets in the wash. I've been meaning to do that, and then people coming and going, I just felt like, let's just keep the sheets where they are until life settles down enough that I can actually wash them, because when I showed the house, I didn't want anything in the washer or dryer. So now that the house is under contract, I feel like I can kind of catch up with myself and get some packing done too. I got so little done yesterday, which I will tell you more about while I get things cleaned up in the kitchen. Also, I want you to know that today is National Gorgeous Grandma Day. So if you are a grandma, you are gorgeous. Also, I have my toxic trait is wearing Christmas t-shirts to bed these days. Why? They're just broken in and so darn comfortable and light and thin enough that I don't get hot at night. So pardon the Christmas in July. I'm fine. Everything's fine.
I love the quiet of the morning, and I am usually guaranteed to be the first person up, and I love it when I can just kind of get moving before anyone else gets up. It is just a quiet, solemn time to think my own thoughts, to say a prayer. Oftentimes I might have something in my ears. Maybe it's my devotional. Maybe it's a YouTube channel. I've had my coffee. I have had a little bit of YouTube time on the television, and that just helps me to get motivated. So I'm definitely hoping that I can always do the same for you, is to see me working, that it would motivate you and get you up, and that you can either work alongside me or have some time just getting motivated and relaxing before you start your day's work. If you are new here, my name is Karen. I would love it if you would introduce yourself in the comment section. If you're not new, I'm so glad that you have stuck with me. I appreciate your friendship more than I can even say. Also, if you're new, I have lived in the state of Maine for 60 years, which is all of my years. And I am finally, it looks like, moving out of the state of Maine. So I have been decluttering my home since, oh goodness, what did I say before? Was it 2023? I think it was 2023. 2 years? It seems like it's been longer. Maybe it was 2021. I don't know. I've been decluttering my house for years. Oh, that's what it is. Yes, 2021. And then starting in 2023, we started to take care of a lot of the major things that were wrong with the house, from septic to a new roof to a new furnace to new windows, new appliances, a new kitchen, and 2 new bathrooms. And finally, it was time to try to sell it again. And so many of you gave me great advice to help me with the staging. We took out some of the furniture and we loosened things up a bit. But I had no idea and could not have planned that we would sell our home to the first person to look at it. And of course, there's still things that have to happen. But for right now, we are under contract. And so it is definitely go time. One of the first things that I want to do to get ready to leave is I've really been working again on my morning routines. There's been so much activity and kind of chaos that I haven't necessarily stayed with my morning routine lately. It's just, what do we have today? And just trying to race as hard as I can to get, ready for that thing, whether it was a realtor walkthrough or whether it was showing our home. And I'm so thankful that we can kind of breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief now. So our house went into contract last Saturday, and today is July 23rd on Wednesday. So that happened, let's see, we found out about it on Sunday. So we had the showings on Saturday. We found out about it on Sunday. And boy, was I surprised that they wanted to do the inspection, the building inspection on Monday. I'm telling you, these people are wasting no time. Even though I did get an extension of 15 business days after August 16th, which was when they wanted to close, to give us time to find suitable housing in Vermont. So they could have taken their time with the building inspection, especially knowing that I have yet to find a home, but they chose to plow on ahead. And then our septic inspection is this Friday. So things are just moving. Although I didn't think I had to have my house as perfect as I did for the showings, I definitely wanted to have it nice and tidy, knowing that there would be, actually the buying realtor would be here along with the inspector. And so what I did was I got up early again. I made sure that the house was all clean, all staged. I told my daughters this time what time I wanted them to be up. We had the building inspection at 10:30, and I asked everyone to be up by 9. So we all got up, we made sure beds were made and everything was clean. Look at Woozy. He sometimes takes over for Leo as my boss to make sure I am doing things correctly. Anyway, we kind of went separate ways. We had 2 different cars. So my husband and my daughter Crecia, daughter Rachel, they got some Dunkin' and they went to the local library. But Yvonne didn't want to have Jabari in the library because, of course, you want to be super quiet. Did I say the building inspection was at 10:30 in the morning? So Yvonne and I went to get a Dunkin' drink, and then we headed to the park that's right around the corner to our home. Luckily, I want to say luckily, but as God would have it, and I feel so blessed for this. Look at Woozy watching me, making sure I put the pans in the right spot. This is where my pots and pans are, and someone asked if I would please show the hallway down to the basement, what it looks like now. Of course, I still have things on these shelves, but you can see the walls are empty. So anyway, we went to the park around the corner. Thankfully, also, I have security cameras, so it's real easy for me to see when they were done. And also my realtor texted us to let us know that we could go back home. But it took them a little over an hour and a half, and then we went home, and then there were things to do in the afternoon. So I wasn't really able to get anything done yesterday. And I am just trying to methodically take it step by step. Of course, we have some things in our storage unit, things that we knew we wouldn't need for the next few months, which helped our closets to look a little emptier. And of course, some of our furniture went over there as well. Then everything that I have boxed up over the years in our basement is definitely going to help us to move that much quicker. So I'm really not in a panic about moving, and I'm thankful for that. So I am just taking things step by step. I'm determined to keep up with the regular things of every day. And honestly, at my age, at 60 years old, what I have learned is I can get so much more done if I just go slowly. It's one of the reasons why I am showing you real time and not speeding up clips, is I want you to see that I am just slowly, methodically going through what needs to be done. And then after my morning routine, it's lunchtime, and then I will get started and use my afternoons to do some of the packing or things to get ready. In this case, it's more like preparing to pack than it is actual packing. Oh, it is such a whirlwind, and I'm just determined to have joy in the process, to not be grouchy. I have a beautiful grandson who's 2 months old. I definitely want to be spending time with him. I don't want this to come. It has taken over our summer for sure. We haven't been heading out to beaches and such, but I definitely don't want it to also take over my home life. Let me know if you can relate. At the same time, we are just perusing Realtor.com and Zillow, looking for properties that we might like to look at in Vermont. Plus, we have a wonderful real estate agent there, super experienced. I'm so thankful to have such experienced realtors on both ends. It is just such a game changer. And so I'm talking to her. I feel like it's daily, but it probably isn't. It's probably almost daily. I'm actually going to get to meet her tomorrow. So today's Wednesday. Tomorrow on Thursday, I am heading down to Vermont to look at a couple properties. To say that inventory is low as far as what is for sale is an understatement. I noticed that here as well. That was one of the reasons I felt pretty confident. I had a feeling I was going to get a contract the day that we showed it at the beginning, because it's like what you see is what you get with my home. We've taken care of all of the major things, and I know the inventory in my area is pretty low, and we had priced it to sell. There was a price point where my realtor said, if it's not that it's impossible to get this much money for your home, it will take longer. What do you want to do? Because this price is what I'm confident in. And so I was like, let's take the price you're confident in. Of course, we raised it like $5,000 to give you wiggle room. And then the person gave us an offer that was above that. So we're very thankful for it. Okay, so not only is inventory low in Maine, but it's also low in Vermont. Very, very low. So I keep telling myself, and I was saying this to my realtor this morning, I only need one home for my family, right? And I'm trying to keep that perspective. I'm trying to think location first, and at the same time kind of talking to my husband, of course, and my daughters, and having lots of conversations, because we can't technically scale down. The truth is there's 5 adults and 1 baby moving. So we're not scaling down in that aspect, but I am noticing that the properties I'm choosing to look at, the condo and the house, have more of an open concept. And when you have an open concept where it's that L-shaped kitchen, dining area, living room, you can get away with less footage. And so tomorrow I'm heading down there, and then I will head back Friday. So if you're a praying person, I would sure appreciate your prayers. So you can see this tower of garbage here. It is trash day. But other than that, my husband will take care of that, and the kitchen's looking pretty good.
Imagine a perfect day, absolutely flawless in every way.
All right, with the kitchen set up, I am going to strip the bed and get it made. Shout out to having a spare set of sheets. My hair's already driving me crazy, and from working around the house, I'm a little warm. So I'm gonna pop something in my ears and go ahead and get this bed done. So what do I usually put in my ears? Sometimes it might be my devotional for the morning, but those are really short. Or it could be a YouTube how-to, and it could be a book on tape or an audio book. So one of you had suggested, and I tried listening to it, but my family kept interrupting me, so I don't even know. I got to start it over. Whoops. Oh, it's starting over anyway. Oh, no, it isn't. Okay. Can you see that? It's called Chapter and Curse. It is a murder mystery, I believe, so I'm going to pop that in my ears while I'm in my room with the door shut, and Grampy is with Jabari, so I know Grampy's not going to come talk to me. And we'll see if I can get this done. It helps me so much to have stuff to listen to.
I bet you can hear the saws in the background outside. I love the sound of work. I love to watch work on YouTube. In fact, sometimes when I can't sleep at night, I might watch those ones where someone will go and they'll clean up the yard of someone who can't clean up their own yard. I find that super therapeutic, and it helps me to relax and go back to sleep. I also, of course, love to watch people clean, but I love the sound of a lawnmower. I love the sound of a chainsaw. I just find it so relaxing. I love to drive around and see what projects people are working on in their home. And this is something I loved way before YouTube. And now with YouTube, it is just so much at a higher level than it used to be before YouTube. So I just love it so much. So I have my windows open and I am just loving getting to hear the sawing. They're trimming trees back, which if I were staying here would make me happy because it means less power outages in the wintertime, getting the tree limbs back from the power lines because our power lines here are all above ground. So it doesn't take but one good heavy tree limb to take out your power. I am getting a load of laundry in. What I do is, as I have towels and dirty laundry, we just throw it in the washing machine. My daughters have a laundry day, but I do tell them if you have towels or cloths, I would really rather those, especially in the summertime, don't stay in your room because they're usually wet, but they go right into the washing machine. And then when I have a load, I just go ahead and start it. No separating necessary. You know, if I have something delicate, then I will hold that back and do that separately. But with Yvonne having a baby, I definitely, she'll put in baby clothes, you know, because they're spit up and all of the things. So I don't mind running that at all. I'm kind of the day shift, the morning shift, I should say, and she's the night shift. So she's my girl when I need the kitchen cleaned up at night before you go to bed. She's the one to make sure that supper has been cleaned up from usually, and that the dishwasher is started, and then I'm the one in the morning picking up the slack there after she picked up the slack in the evening, and I'm getting laundry started and that sort of thing. So thankfully with the second set of sheets, I can immediately get my bed made, and then what used to happen when I just had one set of sheets, also if you hear something in the background of my voiceover, it is an airplane going over. Anyway, so much going on. I love having my windows open though. What was I even saying? Oh, when I used to have one set of sheets, what would happen, toxic trait, is I would put the sheets in the wash and then I would get busy. And then at some point I would put them in the dryer. And then by the time they came out of the dryer, I was tired. And then I would convince my husband to make the bed. So now that I have a spare set of sheets under the bed, as soon as I put the sheets in the wash, I can get a clean set out and get my bed made. Also, what I used to do, I have a little storage under there, under the bed now, but what I used to do was put the whole set of sheets and any spare pillowcases all in one pillowcase, and then I would keep them on my shelf in the closet. It's something I also taught my daughters to do. So we didn't ever keep spare sheets in the linen closet. I mean, I won't say never. Before I discovered that, I did. But I find it so much more convenient to just have it all as a packet and to keep that packet on a shelf in the closet. Another weird quality we have is in Maine, we don't tend to have proper coat closets. It's the funniest thing. And I've tried 5 million different ideas on where to keep the coats, the mittens, and the hats. So finally, I told everyone, could you please keep your coat in your own closet? And so that's what we ended up doing. It's what we have done for years now. So I do have a boot rack in the basement. I have put boot racks all over the house too. Of course, when the kids were younger, you wanted it to be in a spot where they walked in the house. The boot rack, the mittens, the hats, the coats, the whole thing, because they were going in and out playing. But then as people get older, it's much easier to teach them to contain their own things. And usually if everybody went out sledding or skating or making snowmen, I would immediately put all of their snow clothes right in the dryer when they came inside, get them dry. Then they'd be ready either for the next time they went out, or they would be able to be put away nicely, already dry, because you know how it goes with hats and mittens. They can get kind of stinky if they're not spread out to dry. But oh my goodness, that's one of the funny things in Maine. Like, where are the mud rooms? Where is the coat closet? And it would crack me up. I would go into homes in Florida and it's like, wow, look at that beautiful entryway. Look at that beautiful coat closet. But in Maine, where we have, you know, winter and the 4th of July, there would be no coat closet, which kind of makes me crazy. Also, yes, I know I have a lot of blankets on my bed and it is summer. I don't really like weighted blankets, but I do like the weight of multi blankets. I know that doesn't make any sense to anyone but me. And as a matter of fact, the gray and white blanket that was under this white comforter, that gets folded in half. So it's double on my side and not even on my husband's side because the two blankets are plenty for him. And sometimes he's on top of all of it sleeping with no blankets on him. Whereas I'm under this huge pile. It kind of reminds me of the Princess and the Pea story where you just see all the blankets. Is it all the blankets under her or on top of her? I don't know. I can't remember, but I just remember seeing a bed pile, and that's what I need. This white comforter, though, it's a king-size comforter that I got on clearance, or it was either on clearance or it was like a Black Friday sale at Macy's. So inexpensive. I think it was under $50. But because it's white, I don't really want to use it, so it is completely 100% decorative. And I know for many of you, you're like, what a waste. But I can't tell you how much it blesses me to see my bed. I just love it with the sea ocean picture up above. It just makes me so happy. And we have minerals in our water that turn things kind of a gray color. So I know that this comforter would not weather being washed multiple times very well. I hope to one day find a blanket that matches my pillows, my little throw pillows here. But so far, I have not found that. So getting my bathrobe all hung up in my closet, neatened, and then it's going to be time to get myself ready for the day. And then after I do that, I will take a break, and then I'm going to have lunch. And then I'm going to start just doing little things around the house to kind of get myself in the momentum of beginning to pack, preparing to pack, packing a little bit. We're just going to dip our toes in. I don't have a ton of time today, so I am just going to do as much as I can and call it good. So here is Jabari's little bathtub set up, and that goes in the closet. So she leaves it in the tub overnight and it can drip dry, and then either she does it in the morning or I do it, or whoever takes the first shower. We just tuck it on the floor here in this closet, in our hall closet, and call it good. Since we have put some things in storage, I have loved my house so much more. I think it's possible I'm not going to want the things that are in storage, and I'll want to declutter them. So I'm honestly looking forward to having that declutter on the other end once we hit Vermont. I have some things here hidden in my closet, some bubble wrap, as well as some vacuum bags so that we can get ready, get going with the packing. I've had my lunch, I've had a good sized break, and so I'm feeling rested and ready to get some work done. I have the pillows that were in the hall closet kind of in my craw, as well as the towels that my grandkids use when they come over for overnights. I can't wait till we're in the same town and we can have overnights more often. So I wanted to get these out. It was something I actually intended to do before we showed the house. There was actually a good deal of things I would have liked to also have done before we showed the house. If you would like me to do a video of things I didn't do and didn't stage, let me know in the comments section below. That was an idea I thought of, was what I did as well as what I didn't do. And this is what my closet's looking like today.
Would you vacuum pack pillows? Let me know in the comment section. I don't know. I think not, because you don't want them to squish, right? Let me know. I think I'm gonna get rid of one of these because I can't fit them all in. So this one's more stained, it's going. Or this one is stained. These are pillows for when we have guests overnight, which we will still do when we move. But I'm not going to vacuum pack it until you guys say I can. Yay, I started packing! Okay.
It's officially a declutter.
Okay, funky weird things have happened in the name of just having everything ready for people to look at. So now it's time to kind of undo things just a little bit, or clean them up, reorganize them, all those things. So that's what we're doing right now. I see I have this mess up here, and I think I might need to find and see if I have another box. I have this box. Since we are leaving, it is legal to use the old cardboard box, so that's what we're going to do. And then I need to find my Sharpie so that I can be labeling. This is handy dandy. We can use this. Convenient. And then put this up here. All right, I have toys. These were summer toys. And these are toys. I'm assuming these are full. Yep, those are full. All right, so I have one more game that just fits. And then, okay, let's see, Play-Doh. I wasn't going to put that in here, but I do think it's better everything. Although I could put it with the summer toys. Let's see how full this makes things. The biggest thing is to have labels. Labels. Did I even bring down my black Sharpie? Let me see. Nope. I do have this. Maybe I'll use this since it's here. I love to get pantry labels, just labels like this. You can use like a silver Sharpie, or you can use a white chalk pen, and it's just a very inexpensive, easy way to label. All right, now I'm going to see if I were to put, I'm trying to see what number this nipple is. Doesn't have a number. If I were to put the Play-Doh in first, I kind of feel like things would still fit. Let's see. Why, yes. Yay. Okay, so we'll label this to be toys. Let's see. We're going to do Play-Doh and Disney game. I'm going to say exactly what it is. Play-Doh. So this is I think it's a chalk marker, but it's white. Play-Doh, Disney game, and cups. Toddler, I'll say toddler, cups, and plates. Yay! All right, so now I'm just gonna, let's see. I'm gonna take this here and put it up top. Those little awkward things are always so hard. And I am going to put this here, but I can see the label on the top. But I could also do grandkids on the side, so I know that's what it has to do with. Although that white marker kind of disappears in the brown. Okay, now I'm going to take these trays out into the other area, I think. Oh yeah, I know what I want to do. I want to put some boxes together because maybe tonight my husband is going to start going through his books. So I want to do that so it's all ready for him. I just recently had a really great organizational moment that I wanted to share with you guys because my husband needed this certification. He got a computer programming certification years ago, like, oh my goodness, I think it's over 20 years ago. And he had like a little card that you could put in your wallet for it, but he also had certificates. Well, he could not find that card for the life of him, and he needed it for work. And so he was telling me about that because he was looking around for it, and I told him, I said, I think I might know where it is. Came down here, pulled out one of my storage boxes because all of that paper decluttering I did, pulled this out. I thought it was either in this one or I have another one here. Opened it up, and within 2 minutes I had the file folder of all of his like career accolades, and I brought it up, and sure enough, there that certificate was. And so it was just so encouraging, all the work I've been doing over these past several years. Not only did it make it easier to sell our house, but it's also making it easier to find our paperwork and to just know where stuff is. You know, if somebody asks me where something is, I'm like, oh yeah, down underneath this room in the house on the right-hand side, first shelf, and just to kind of know what's down here and where it is and that it's labeled, huge. I'm not going to put the banker's boxes together yet, mostly because I suck at it. I might try it, I don't know, but what I really wanted is I have these other regular boxes. I'll do those first. He might not even use those. In fact, let's gather up what he might use. He's already put some books in these type of boxes because they're small and he can see what's in them. So I'm going to bring these over here for him. Then I know he won't use this one, but he could possibly use that one. Also, I know I need to get a label on this box here. Which, oh, yeah. Oh my goodness, so many things like these drip mats. I could actually return these because sometimes our toilet kind of sweats and I didn't want it dripping whenever we would have someone look at the house. But that's not an issue anymore. So I'm going to bring these up. I might return them. And then my husband got these wiping cloths. So these are just light bulbs, various things. The light bulbs I'll definitely keep. The DAP can go. I'll put it here. And let's see. I've got paint tape right here, or paint tape. I always say paint tape because I've been doing so many things lately, but this is the packing tape. Got that. All right, while I do this, since whenever I do something I don't like to do, I put something in my ears. So that is what I'm going to do now. I'm going back to Chapter and Curse. Chapter 3 is what I'm on. I know we won't use these necessarily for books because they're too big, but I'm going to put them together anyway.
Life has such a rhythm. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's just things that happen every day. The sun rises, the sun sets, and oftentimes we'll have events in our life where you want the normal rhythms of life to just kind of take a pause You know, as a mom, as a wife, it's like meals need to be, obviously, I have older kids. There's no one here who can't feed themselves. At the same time, there's just things I typically do, and it's always very hard for me mentally, emotionally, to step out of my own rhythms of what I do. I've created this life for myself of being a homemaker. It's what I enjoy. It's what I love to do. And I'm just so thankful that my job can be bringing people inside of that life with me rather than leaving that part of my life to go and do something completely different. I get to do this and let you guys in on it. Do you know what I mean? So when things happen outside of the normal, like moving, I'm trying to keep the rhythm of life, of what I do every day, cooking, cleaning, all of the things, and add something else to it. And there is the challenge. Let me know if you can relate to what I'm saying.
I'm going to put this where I usually put empty boxes.
Now, we have crunched our numbers the best that we can. It certainly helps to know how much we're going to get on the house, and hopefully the building inspection isn't going to cause any big renegotiations. We were told there were some small things that were found, which we expect. It's not a brand new house. You know, small things make sense because we've quite honestly taken care of the big things. And so I'm not surprised by that. We have a general idea, at least, if not a specific idea, on what we're making on this house. We've crunched the numbers. We've decided what we can afford. It is time to look. It is so hard to look. I can't imagine somebody who is moving cross country, how hard that must be. As it is, even moving 4-hour drive from here is hard. When you think about looking at homes, I think it changes your pickiness. You know, if you're moving from place to place within your own state, within like an hour distance, you can be a lot more picky than if you are making a big move. So maybe this is a medium move. I don't know. I'm thankful that I have my son on the other side. I can stay at his house when I look at properties. But it does change your pickiness when it's further away. And I know there's going to be a go time here soon. But right now, I can kind of take it at the speed of me and keep all the things in my life and just kind of pack things up to make them easier when the feverish pitch hits, which I know will be sooner than later. If it doesn't take too long for you to type it, I would love to know, those of you who have made major moves, what was the process in finding the place where you were going to be living next? That would be super interesting for me to know. Also, let me know what you are working on or what you're doing while we're together. Are you cleaning? Are you working on a project? Are you decluttering? Are you sitting down and relaxing, drinking some coffee, drinking some tea? Would love to know what you are doing, what you have going on in your life. I always find it super motivating to know what projects you have going on. I definitely care. I definitely appreciate your friendship. I wouldn't be where I am today in this basement if it were not for you being with me every step of the way, whether you got to watch one decluttering video or whether or not you've watched them all. You have definitely helped me by being here, and I appreciate you, and I appreciate your friendship more than you can know. I'm always amazed how you guys kind of can even sense by my expression or my tone what's going on, because you definitely know me as well as many who actually live with me.
These I want to see if my husband wants to keep or not. So I'm going to put them here so we remember. All right, let's see what I can do with these. Yeah, I don't get it.
I do want to see these boxes if they need labels. As I looked, I noticed they were all my older daughter's books, so it was an easy, just label them all and call it quits. So that is what I'm going to do. That's all for me today. I'm going to be doing some babysitting here this afternoon. So hopefully my husband and I will get to the books. And if so, I'll definitely be sharing all of that with you. Take whatever you have to do, just a little bit at a time. Do what you can. Just do your best. And it will all get done eventually. Remember, as always, God loves you. I love you too. Can't wait to see you next time.